Can we talk about a third baseman they might go acquire? Hear me out. Can I pitch him to you?
Okay.
This player was voted by another player to be the National League MVP in 2024.
You know what I respond to that with? Oh my God. Or better said, oh my God. Yeah.
It's Jose Iglesias of the New York Mets, now a free agent. You did not mishear me. There was a player who said that Jose Iglesias should be the National League MVP last year. Thank you, Nick Castellanos.
Yeah.
He was dead serious. Jose Iglesias is coming off the best offensive season of his career. In about half a season, he had a 137 WRC plus. He was an average defender, 2.5 wins above replacement, career highs in triple slash and WRC plus.
Mm-hmm.
Lyle, should the Mariners sign Jose Iglesias?
They could use some vibes, I'll tell you that. He'd bring vibes.
Vibes are great.
I'll tell you what. People will be so sick of hearing OMG by the end of the year, and not because it's a bad song. I actually think it's a great song. But it would get overplayed like crazy in the ballpark if he was on the team. So
I have a pitch for Jose Iglesias of why they should acquire him. And it's not because of his offense. You heard his offensive stats. They sound good. He's a 90 WRC plus hitter for his career. Mm-hmm. I would expect he's an older... It's not even Josh Rojas. He would probably be a max one-win player at third base if they signed him. If that. Maybe it's a half. He's going to be 35 next year. His bat will probably regress. Mm-hmm. He might not even be average offensively next year because he went at least 10 years being below average at the plate before last season. It's not that. I'm going to explain to you why Nick Castellanos decided to vote Jose Iglesias to MVP, for National League MVP. Here's the quote from him. He was on with Chris Rose on the Rose rotation on John Boy. And here's what Castellanos said. He said why he should be MVP is because of the energy he brought to the clubhouse. He, quote, knocked the ice off of Francisco Lindor, helped Mark Vientos be comfortable being an everyday third baseman. And this is the quote that really gets me. Now a bunch of guys that looked like they had no direction running in all different directions at the beginning of the year. They made the playoffs and the entire Mets organization was holding up OMG signs. The sentence that got me, a bunch of guys that looked like they had no direction running in all different directions in the beginning of the year. Now, where have I heard something similar before?
Why don't you enlighten the people?
The Mariners the last 2 years. The big knock on the Mariners that they don't have enough veteran leadership, and the clubhouse has been... Oh, let me reword that. The clubhouse has been fine, but the overall consistency and results of the team have been inconsistent, and it has been directly tied back to a lack of veteran leadership. See Carlos Santana and their flurry in 2022 and how impactful he was, and then what happened when Justin Turner got here at the trade deadline this past season. Well, Jose Iglesias sounds like he did the same thing to the Mets last year, and he was a big reason that they made the NLCS. It's because he has that type of impact on a clubhouse. Donovan Solano could be a good clubhouse guy, but man, Jose Iglesias sounds like the clubhouse guy.
Let me ask this question, because all those quotes are fascinating. Why have the Mets not just re-signed him yet? He's going to cost, what, $4 million? He'd be a bench player? Steve Cohen writes a check like that in his sleep. Why is he not back with the Mets?
That's a great question. I couldn't answer that for you.
I'd love to know why. I'm sure everybody would love to have him back. Those fans, certainly the guys in that clubhouse, the coaching staff. Even if he's not going to be what he was last year, again, just as a bench player and having that veteran there, I'm pretty surprised he's not back with the Mets yet. That being said, he's not. He is a free agent. So what would the Mariners have to give up to acquire him? I'll say it again. $4 to $5 million, it's not the most intriguing option in the world, but there's not many intriguing options left. And you need somebody to play third base. And if you want to bank on Jose Iglesias being at least 1.5 WAR player, third base, might be your best option at this point. I know that's not inspiring, but you got to do something.
I don't think you could.
Maybe.
Sorry.
Yeah, maybe he could be that. Again, I don't know I shouldn't even say I don't know. I think it's unlikely he repeats what he did offensively last year. But could he be a 105 WRC plus bat? Certainly possible. Yeah. I mean, there's at least some intrigue there.
It would be better than what the Mariners currently have, but there is risk because, again, for his career, he is a below-average hitter, and he's not a fantastic fielder, not at this point of his career. You'd be rolling the dice on this one. But the impact he could have in the clubhouse would be significant. This would be the Gino Suarez vibes movement with Jose Iglesias.
Right. Yes, it would. Now, Jose Iglesias was a part-time player last year. He wasn't playing every day. He played 85 games last year. Jose Iglesias actually started in the minors last year because he was on a minor league deal to start. The Mariners, similar to how it feels like they're going to use Donovan Solano at this point, feel like they would run Jose Iglesias into the ground, which is not how he's meant to be used. So that's the flip side to this coin. The optimistic side is Jose Iglesias could come over to Seattle, play some decent defense, and be a 105 WRC plus bat. So he provides some value. The flip side is, if the Mariners try to run into the ground an old, aging 35-year-old first baseman and ask him to play 140 games, that's how things can get out of hand. That's how he starts to slump. That's how he could get injured, etc. Yeah, it's not a perfect plan. Sadly, the Mariners do not seem to have a solution at third base. So this is a solution.
And I'm not saying the Mariners have been linked to Jose Iglesias, but he is still available, technically. Technically still an option.
They weren't linked to Donovan Solano either, so you never know.
Well, yeah. Because they're hidden away in a bunker this offseason.
That is the term I would use.
No pressers, no signings, no life.
Yes.
Well, they came out for Dallas, but...
Yes. Yeah. What have they been doing? Again, I think that's the best way to put it. They have been hiding away in the bunkers. Yeah. They have not been in the limelight at all.
Will the Mariners make a move by the next time we record a podcast?
Ooh, man. By the next time we record, man, are we approaching pretty close to February, the turn of another calendar month. Man, if the Mariners have made one move by the month of February, that is going to be something. I'm going to say no. We've had such a good hit rate with that. Why fix what isn't broke?
I'm going with you. I'm going to say no as well,